Hello y'all on YouTube, this is Rob with Rob's Nerdy Knives. Today we have a very special review impressions of two knives. Actually, it's kind of one. It's the Nova and the Mini Nova, and I thought I'd do them together since I bought them recently and really do enjoy both. So yeah, let's talk about them. All right, today I'm looking at the Vero Engineering Nova and Mini Nova. As you can see, they look very similar, right? One's just, well, a little bigger than the other. So the regular Nova and then the Mini Nova. We'll get into the weights and measurements and all that good stuff here in just a second, but let's talk a little bit about the knives overall, what they're about and stuff. So the knife names are the Nova, which is the regular size one right here, right? And then you have the Mini Nova, this guy over here, the much smaller one. It's not technically much smaller, and this one's technically not just a regular, it's kind of the big one. The manufacturer for both of these guys is the OEM is Bestech, but the company, the designer is Vero Engineering with Joseph Vero, who designed these knives. Really cool designs. I've had several of his knives so far. I've had the Axon, the Mini Axon, and I've checked some other knives out too that weren't mine, that were loaned to me, but you know, those are all really cool knives. Checked out the Synapsis at Blade Show, and a couple other ones I wouldn't mind getting. I think they're pretty cool. Oh, the Lux. Love to get the Mini Lux too, by the way. Well, I think it's called now 3.3 or something like that. Either way, that's going to be really cool. So unlike the regular Lux was a little stretched out for my fingers that are a little shorter. I think for people with longer normal fingers, you would probably have an easier time with that one. This one works for me. And so that's one of the reasons why I actually have both and like both. So not that I didn't love the Lux. The Lux was amazing. That's why I'm hoping the Mini Lux or 3.3 Lux, whatever I can get, would be nice too. All right, so the materials, titanium scales, M390 blade steel, I believe. I want to say, I'm almost not sure, but I wonder if, hold on a second, I wonder if the large one was Magnacut. I think it was actually Magnacut on the large one. Okay, so I just confirmed, it is Magnacut, M390 on both of these. M390 on this one, I think the one I was taking is Magnacut, was the Lux, okay? So this one's M390 as well. So that's the materials on here. Both are flat grind with a beautiful swedge, very similar blade shapes, a little drop point. I guess you could call it a clip point technically. You know, it is kind of a straight edge, so maybe a clip point, right? Whatever you want to call it, I don't care. The handle is contoured, almost, contoured. It's chamfered, but it does have a contoured shape, I would say, even without the chamfering, but the chamfering does add to it. Very nice soft corners all the way around, which I think is fantastic. Captive pivot on both of these. Has a standoff, backspacer. Now, I don't know if you've noticed on both of these guys, I did put the Timascus kits on there. So these are pimped out a bit. Normal titanium backspacer, titanium clips, all, you know, that's what they came in as. But it has a lanyard hole, if you will, back there. So if you're a lanyard person, you know, there you go. The clips are pretty nice. They're not sharp, very comfortable in hand. There's no hot spots on these guys, which I really enjoy. It's a frame lock. Both of them have easy access, not difficult, not hard, not overly tough. Beautiful chamfering, easy access to get into them. Makes it very, very useful, very comfortable. So I do like that. This one's 384. This one's 286, sorry. And then 384, yeah. So I do like that. They have fullers, the typical Vero Engineering fullers, which is really cool. And they are both front flippers, right? So you can front flip them both, and the fuller you can both reverse flick them and front flick them and thumb flick them, right? So I can do that with both hands, which is really nice. Okay. What else? It's not. How does it close? Both of these are really nice. I did put skiffs in these guys, so they have beautiful action in these. They close really nice, as you can see. So really well, and they do drop right here. Catch on your finger, so you're not getting the blade on your thumb and your nail, so you're not getting cut, which is really nice. So I like that very, very, very much. Polished stone washed on both blades, which I really liked. I kept them the same. You could have gotten satin finished or hand satin finished, you know. And then there was some special Timascus or bacon Timascus, I think, or something like that was out there too. The special I went for was the Timascus backspacer and the clip, obviously. And I think they did a really fantastic job in both of those. All right, let's do some measurements here real quick. All right, so we'll weigh them both and then we'll measure them both. All right, so the big one is 5.6 ounces, not a light little knife. And the little one, 4.2 ounces, so 1.4 ounces lighter. Definitely a huge difference between the two, which is nice, right? And then we're going to do some measurements here. All right, so the regular size Nova is going to be 8¼ inches. The handle grip area is going to be about 4.5 inches. Choking up just a little bit, you might get 4 3/4, right? The overall blade length for this one is going to be 3 5/8. The overall cutting length is about 3.5, just past 3.5. All right, so the overall length on the Mini is 7 3/8 of an inch. All right, so the overall grip area is going to be 4 inches. You choke up a little bit, you might get 4 1/8 of an inch, right? The blade from tip to handle is going to be 3 1/4, and then the cutting length is just under 3 1/4. It's probably between 3 1/8 and 3 1/4. So, you know, you could say maybe, I don't know, 3/16 or something like that. Probably somewhere around there. Yeah. All right, let's do the blade stock thickness. I think they're also proportionate as well between the two. All right, so the large one's going to have a blade stock thickness 159.5 or 159 thousandths of an inch. So, I mean, that's a pretty robust blade, right? The smaller one has 143, 142 thousandths of an inch. So, you know, definitely thinner. I mean, I don't know if it's significant. I want to say it's significant, but it's definitely thinner, right? Which is proportionate and I think really nice. Both beautifully dead nut centered. I think looks great. Now, what is the category for each of these? Well, in the base model, they're both what I would consider in the what I call the higher end category. So that's $300 to $600. They're definitely over $300 each. So they're definitely the $300 to $600. Adding the Timascus clip here gets it really, really close to just the very top tier of the high end. So I mean, that's, you know, if you like the knife, you don't have to get this, right? That was optional. So, but if you like it, just know that that puts it close to 600, definitely over 500. So there you go. Keep that in mind when they have drops in availability. All right, so is this EDC hard use and a collection piece? These are both absolutely collection pieces, especially when you put stuff like this on there. I think it's certainly a collection piece. For some people, this might be a safe queen. They may never touch them, and that's fine. You can do what you want. It's your collection. I carry everything I own, so I enjoy carrying these. Does that mean I'm going to go out and chop trees and cut off branches and no, I'm not. I have a fixed blade for that if I'm carrying this. These are nicer knives. I mean, I will cut boxes and cases of water, dog food, cat food, fertilizer, mulch, whatever. I will use my knife for that, right? That's just regular stuff for me. I think hard use as you can with a frame lock. I mean, use the right tool for the right job, right? I would always say if you're going to want to go beat up and destroy some stuff, go get yourself a fixed blade or get an axe, right? But if you're in a pinch, this will work really well. It's a frame lock. It'll lock up really solidly, I think. So I think that's really outstanding. And as far as EDC, I EDC everything. It's your call, but these are definitely EDC for me. Ergos and feel on both of them. One is just bigger than the other, but what I really enjoy about this is I have large hands with big meaty fingers. So this is going to be equivalent to someone right here with a grip with extra large hands with normal size fingers, double extra large hands with thinner, skinnier fingers, right? That's going to be your fit right there. That being said, the regular size one, I have easy access to every part on here. Unlike the Lux where I felt like I had to stretch and sometimes the blade would come down on me and maybe cut my finger, the large feels just really good and it works really well. The ergonomics are nice, especially for my hands. Even with little shorter fingers, I really like that. So just keep that in mind. I think that's a plus as far as the regular size one. Now the Mini is even nicer. Now it's more EDC-able in the sense of it's smaller, it's more concealed. If you're looking to go on a date somewhere, go to work, you need something a little smaller, not as big, or maybe some people might get a little freaked out by a larger knife, right? This is going to be closer to 7 inches, and then this one's definitely over the 8 inches. So this is going to look bigger. It is a big knife. I mean, I feel like it's a full-size, solid, beefy, strong knife, right? I wouldn't say it's overbuilt. For my hands, it may look a little overbuilt, but, you know, people who've got larger hands and what have you, they might find that nice, you know, like a nice normal size. People with smaller hands, it definitely feels overbuilt. This is going to feel like a good sized knife here. I think this is a really great option for people, especially with my size. So you can see I still have plenty of room. So you have big meaty large hand with big meaty fingers. I think an extra large, double extra large could choke up and hold that. There's plenty of room there for this guy. But, you know, typically you might hold it back here, which is nice, right? I love the stone wash on here. I think that's really cool. So there you go. So EDC, I think this is great. I think the overall design is beautiful as far as the comfort. I have noted everything is rounded. There's no hot spots even here. There's no sharpness. All the little details have been taken care of. Even the cutaway on the lock bar is really nice. There's no sharp spots there as well. The clip is nice and rounded. Everything feels really comfortable in hand. So to me, that's a real positive. Ironically, I think this is one of the first ones with a lanyard loop, if I'm not mistaken, when I was listening to Joseph talk about it at Blade Show. I don't think he normally does lanyard loops. So this has lanyard loops in both the large and the mini, the regular and the mini. I keep saying large. It is large compared to the mini, but it's the regular size. They both have a little lanyard place. So lanyard people rejoice, right? The clip is beautiful. I like his clip. I know it goes a little flat there, but it's not terrible. It goes in and out pretty well, and it works very ergonomically. There's plenty of clearance in there. He does a little thinning out there, so it does have flexibility. It doesn't get stuck. I do like that a lot. The jimping on the blade, this is very functional. On the smaller one, it's not superly aggressive, but it works. It works really well. On the larger one, it is definitely more aggressive. You can definitely get in place. So if you're carrying this with gloves or something, it'll definitely work well for you. So I think that's nice. Overall feel, I think it's great. Opening and closing, it's a fidget knife all day long, right? I can just sit here and fidget with this thing all day. And if you're curious, here's the detent. The detent clears about right there. And that's usually where your hand catches right there. And then you can just drop it, right? Dead nut centered. Let's listen to the detent while we're at it. You can hear it. Nice clickety detent, no detent lash. Let's listen to the large one. You can see again, here we have that. Clears it, drops. Let's listen to the detent on this one as well. Oops, let me get it out a little bit. Here we go. Ready? Nice clickety detent, no detent lash. Beautifully dead nut centered. So, yeah, fidget factor. I would say the fuller is really fantastic. It works both left and right handed. It's easy for that. It's easy for the side flick. I can sort of do it's a little harder for me to do the front flip thing here because I've never been good at that. But if you're one of these people that can do this, it does do it, right? So that's like a little bonus, I think. So to me, I think what it tends to do, both left and right handed, executes it really well. So this is a solid 5 out of 5. Both of them, solid 5 out of 5. I don't think one's better than the other. I think they both are equivalent. One's just larger than the other and one's smaller than the other. So 5 out of 5. Fidgety goodness, as far as that works, for me, I have no issues with any of that. I think the fidgety goodness for me on this particular knife, and the reason why it stays in my collection, is 100%. I'm going to give both of these 100%. That's why I wanted to review them, because I felt like they're really close, just difference in size. And I think to show you, what maybe you like. Maybe you like maybe you want a thinner one. Maybe you want a larger one or whatever. So definitely fidgety goodness, 100% for that 5 out of 5. Is it recommended? Absolutely. Both of them recommended. Absolutely recommended. And I'll tell you, even with smaller hands, I think you would enjoy the larger one. So there you go. That's my thoughts on there. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. What you think about these, if you have them or you enjoy these knives as well, let me know your thoughts. But definitely recommend a knife. I think they're great knives. So, hey, if you found this content fun, interesting, worthwhile, informative, or just entertaining, would you please consider hitting that like button down below? And if you've already hit that like button, would you please consider hitting that subscribe button down below? Subscribing and liking the channel really helps me out. It allows me to produce more content, do more things, ultimately do more things for you guys. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who watches, who enjoys the content, who watches me on live streams, who comments, who's just part of the whole community. I appreciate you guys so very much. If you haven't already, hit that notification button down below as well so you can be notified of future content. And a big shout out to all my channel members. Appreciate you guys. You guys do 2 wonderful things for me. You encourage me on days when I need a little encouraging, because I don't do this full time. I'm part time. So you guys are like my workout buddies. I appreciate that. And then secondly, but your generosity in the memberships, allows me to do things more quickly than I ever thought I could be able to do. So I appreciate that. Thank you. You help me with shipping, cost of, loaning people when I loaned knives and shipping those back. All of those things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry if you hear SpaceX in the back, some rumbling. I live near SpaceX. By the way, so thank you. If you're interested and you thought, well, the 2 things I do for you guys is brand new members are eligible for the once a month members exclusive giveaway. It's better than just a budget banger. It's a little nicer knife. So definitely keep an eye out for that. That's my small way to say thank you, as you're generous to me. I want to be generous back to you. And the other thing is for anybody who's currently actively a channel, right? A channel member. And whether you're a brand new channel member, were channel member all along, or were channel member and became a channel member again, but usually it's new channel members, right? Email me with your name and address. I'd love to mail you a channel sticker and a little thank you note. It's my small way to say thank you. All right, I appreciate you guys. So just know that. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Again, that's on Instagram at robs_nerdy_knives. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.